Now, the African National Congress stands with the people of Palestine. Today, the ruling party marched to the Israel embassy calling for senseless killings to stop. Supporters and members, including the party's leadership, were part of the march held in Pretoria. eNCA's reporter Moloko Moloto was covering the march and now joins me here in studio. Moloko, what is the ANC concerned about as this conflict continues to claim lives on both sides, but mostly the lives of Palestinian civilians?
Good evening, Anli. Well, obviously, the bombardment from the side of the Israeli government is continuing. Thousands of people continue to be killed. And today, the leaders of the ANC, particularly, they were led by the First Deputy Secretary General Nomvula Mokonyane and the party's Treasurer General Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa, together with the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng and other members of the National Executive Committee. They marched from the area of Hatfield to the embassy of Israel in Linwood, and essentially they are saying they want to register their disquiet over this conflict that rages on in the Middle East. And you could hear them as they were taking to the podium addressing the people who turned up there. I mean, Nomvula Mokonyane went on to say, "Mabahambe, let them go. The Israeli embassy must go," which is really not a new call. We have seen every time there's a resurgence of conflict in the Middle East, you will hear the ANC calling and other people calling for the expulsion of the embassy. And then you obviously have a situation which is made difficult by the fact that I think it was on Wednesday that the United States vetoed the motion by Brazil at the United Nations Security Council to call for ceasefire, at least even if it's temporary, to allow humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, which is a call that was also made by the Minister of International Relations, who is saying South Africans should donate either food or medical supplies that will go there. So as matters stand, the ANC was essentially saying that the embassy of Israel must respond. But what is interesting is that the embassy did not even come out to accept the memorandum of grievances in the sweltering heat. And another thing that happened was that when the marchers arrived at the embassy, they found men and women in blue, police who were guarding that particular embassy. And we heard from the leaders of the ANC, the Secretary General of the ANC Women's League was the first one to lambaste the police for guarding that particular embassy, saying that you ought to be out protecting South Africans. Then followed Nomvula Mokonyane, who said, as you are there, the murderers, the rapists are attacking South African children and women. Why are you there? And which was bizarre. I mean, the police obviously were just doing their job. And then you heard from the ANC Youth League's president, Colin Malaji, I beg pardon, who is saying that while there was that particular march today, as young people, they will organize theirs, going on to even call for the expulsion of other companies that are in South Africa coming from Israel. But maybe let's listen to Nomvula Mokonyane, because we wanted to know what are the timelines, because she is saying that this matter came up even in the recent NEC meeting of the ANC. But of course, she's saying, don't rush us. Ultimately, we will come to a decision where we give an instruction if really we will never make headway with the Israeli embassy. Let's listen to her.
Remember the last time we insisted on the closing and then we downgraded the embassy. That was our decision. It emanates from us. That's why even now we're saying we've written to them. They've not acknowledged our letter that we are coming. We will be at their doorstep. And if they fail to communicate and reach out to South Africans of diversity as they are with us, who are not alone as the ANC, what's the point of them? The ANC will have to again go back and say, we've downgraded. Does it help? No. We have made attempts again, and worse with this kind of genocide. Let's go and see what happens. Let's go. I don't want to preempt. I want to assume they will understand the magnitude of what the world has stood out against. This is worse than what has happened before. Over the past 75 years of the atrocities against the people of Palestine, this genocide is something that must prick somebody's conscience. This is about humanity.
There's a UN resolution for the establishment of two-state solution in the issue of Palestine and Israel. We are also here from our side as to pay homage and respect to the fact that as the ANC and South Africans, we are beneficiaries of international solidarity. We were supported by other nations against the apartheid government. But our history does not only end with apartheid government, our history goes as far as slavery. Because more than 17 to 20 million Africans were thrown into the sea who did not agree with slavery. And even the United Nations, any multilateral institution, including the AU, have never brought this particular matter to the agenda of the global community, including the issue of reparations. That's why equally we supported Israel. We even opened South Africa for the Israelites, for the Jews who were running away from Hitler to come here. Now, at that time when we supported them as the ANC, even some of them are known. They became our members, Ruth First, Ben Turok and others who came as a result of running away from Nazi Germany. Now, we cannot allow Israel to do an ethnic genocide, ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians, because as the ANC we have a burden of responsibility as African National Congress, an organization that was found on a principle of Ubuntu.
Well, thank you very much, Moloko Moloto, for bringing us that update on that march by the ANC leadership in support of Palestine.